The Seven Devils Volcanics span over a 40-mile-long stretch of land near the Idaho-Oregon border in the Hells Canyon Wilderness. Immediately southwest of Riggins, Idaho, the Seven Devils are accessible by a gravel road off of Highway 95. This gravel road rises over 5,500 feet and 17 miles. They are made up of 7 main peaks over 9,000 feet. The tallest peak, the He Devil, is approximately 9,400 feet. The remaining 6 peaks are the She Devil, Twin Imps, Horse Heaven, Devil's Throne, the Ogre, and Pyramid Mountain. The Seven Devils area is primarily composed of volcanic rocks. The majority of these rocks are mafic and consist of basaltic rocks, primarily plagioclase feldspar, olivine, and pyroxene. Basaltic andesite is also present. Other rocks that are present are oceanic sedimentary, greenstone, dacitic volcanic rocks, and gabbroic rocks. This is the result of volcanism, tectonics, and sedimentation that occurred at converging plate boundaries. The primary ages of these rocks are from the Permian and the Jurassic period, which occurred between 300 and 200 million years ago. The basaltic flows that composed the formations occurred underwater, pushing sedimentary material upward in a gentle bend. The rest of the rock formed in shallow water before creating the land as it is known today. The rocks solidified entirely sometime in the early Jurassic period. The ages of these rocks were determined by radiometric dating. Some of the structural features of this province include the Rocky Mountains, the Snake River, and Hells Canyon. The geologic history of the rocks of Seven Devil began about 300 million years ago during the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous interval. Rocks of the Seven Devils region were accreted to the western edge of North America. The slow process of terrain accretion and continental growth shifted the Pacific coastline westward towards its present location. In west-central Idaho, the collisional event is recorded across a broad zone of deformation known locally as the Salmon River Suture. The Island Arc Continent suturing event was followed by vertical uplift along steep northerly trending normal faults, which offset Miocene flood basalts. These relatively young faults have played an important role in raising the local mountains to their current elevations. Between 130 and 17 million years ago, an ocean plate carrying the volcanoes collided and became a part of the North American continent. A period of volcanic activity followed, and much of the area was covered with floods of basalt lava, which smoothed the topography into a high plateau. The Snake River began carving Hells Canyon out of the plateau about 6 million years ago. The present topography of this province is related to its geological history because of erosion, the eruption of the Columbia River basalt, and fault deformation. Erosion accounts for some of the quartzite found in the area, which is thought to be carried downstream from central Idaho. The eruption of the Columbia River basalt covered much of Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, and fault deformation is largely responsible for the relief we see today. Major faulting brought enormous blocks to the surface, which became mountain ranges. The Snake and Salmon River followed the faults and carved out the landscape. Mining, forestry, ranching, copper, gold, silver, iron, and other mineral deposits are natural resources that are related to the geology of this province, but the lack of accessibility has made these things unpopular. From the highest point on He Devil Mountain to the river level of the Snake River in Hell's Canyon, it is an 8,043-foot drop, making it the deepest river gorge in North America. The Seven Devils contains a wide variety of wildlife, such as bighorn sheep, mountain goat, mule deer, elk, black bear, cougar, cutthroat, and rainbow trout. There are several lakes with high fish populations, and there are numerous wildflowers. The Seven Devils has numerous subalpine meadows and vast pine forests. There are several marked and unmarked trails and clear camping areas throughout the mountains. It has several waterfalls and streams, as well as numerous lakes. Encompassing some of the oldest geological history in all of Idaho, the Seven Devils stand as a tribute to some of the most beautiful and dangerous terrain in the Pacific Northwest. Basalt and mighty glaciers and rivers have carved the terrain into spectacular sights for all to see. Many people from all around travel to the Seven Devils to see one of the greatest geological provinces in the country.